Okay, welcome to the JC Show, episode 5. Episode 5, here we go.
We're going places, Johnny.
We're on a roll.
We're going places.
We're on a roll. If you'd have not disappeared to London, we'd have been on episode 7.
6.
6? Yeah. Or 7?
Maths is never
Maybe 6 and 7. Yeah.
Get on with the show.
Anyway, so what we're going to talk about today is we're going to look at how positivity can or cannot help you to achieve the things that you want. Does positive affirmations work? Do they help you? Do they help you? Do they help me? Or are they just nice, fluffy things that we've been sold?
I'm going to enjoy the show this week because bit of background. Normally we'll plan the show. We'll say let's do it. But today Johnny's like, no, I've got an idea. Let's just roll with it. So blank canvas for me.
Blank canvas
for me.
Blank canvas.
I'm curious to see where this is going to take us, son.
Yeah, absolutely. And we also have the... What do we call it?
Well, we've got a little bit of a different slant on Floats My Quote this week, where you've been submitting your favourite quotes of all time, or maybe quotes you've discovered in the 7-day window between the last show, and we've got a good one. We've got a good one.
Totally. So, like always, before we get into the nuts and the cracks and all this kind of stuff of this, do you know
you're going to ask about learning points?
I'm going to ask about learning points. So, CK, what has been your learning point?
Such was the lack of planning for this show this week that I totally forgot this was part of the thing. Can you do your... Well, should we talk about... No, let's not talk about t-shirts now. That was an old joke.
T-shirt. So, while we're on the side... Should we do that in every single episode going forward?
Basically.
Pull a t-shirt out, yeah.
Basically.
If you've obviously been following, there's a little running... Go and watch the previous versions, the last 4 episodes, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
So he's got it. Have you got this zipped up because you're going to do a big reveal? No reveal.
No t-shirts. You can't buy the t-shirts.
Still limited.
Online.
Oh, it's still non-existent.
Non-existent. You can't do it.
All right.
But very, very good. What CK has done there is managed to buy himself some thinking time by deflecting it back over to the t-shirt. I like what he's done. This is what happens, you see, when you start rolling more often. You start to be able to do things and think on your feet.
You know that shit. You know what? Learning point this week. I'm struggling.
Oh yeah.
Do you have one?
I've learned.
You're always learning.
I'm always learning.
Okay.
I'm always learning. I think the thing for me, what always gets me is that reading. Do you know the books, for example? And it's so true. The learners are the earners. So the more you learn, the more you earn, and it is so true. But you've got to apply the stuff that you learn. And this is the thing that I see so often: is so many people read book after book after book after book after book, looking for a formula, looking for the answer, and what they don't realise is the answer's sat right there. They've got to actually go and do it. And so my learning point from a book is that if you've got a book that you read, or a book that you really enjoyed, read it again. Because the learning point here is that you will find something else in the book that you didn't see the first pass. And it's not that it's just appeared, it was always there, but it's a part of you that might not have been there before. So you're learning something new about yourself every time you read it. So if you like a book and it resonates with yourself, then read it several times. Don't read it 3, 4, 5, maybe a dozen times, because you will find something new in it every single time.
You've been reading that Google book for a while now. Have you finished it yet?
I read it, I finished it, and I started it again straight away.
So the book I'm alluding to is called How to Find Happy?
Solve for Happy. It's by
Solve for Happy.
Yeah, by Mo Gaudat. I don't know how you pronounce the surname, Gaudat or Gaudat. He's the chief engineer of Google X or something like that. He works for Google on their secret stuff, and he's put an algorithm together for happiness. It's brilliant. We put a link to that in one of the previous episodes. I think it might be in episode 2.
I've not known you get as animated about a book in a while as that one.
It's good. I finished the book,
okay,
and I started it again straight away. I didn't even jump into anything else. I literally went back to the book, started again. So, anything that you have learned?
No, we're going to have to just skip it.
We're going to have to
skip it, I'm afraid.
That's fine, not a problem at all. Right, so we have, coming up later on, we've got quotes, Float My Quotes, which is always fun and exciting. Floats my quotes. CK's not got a learning point, but I'm sure he's learnt something. He's just not aware of what it is just yet. So, let's get into the topic. So the topic is being positivity and positive affirmations. Do they work or do they not? Now the reason we fetched this topic up is because probably a week or maybe 2 weeks ago, CK shared a blog post that he'd read into LinkedIn.
Okay.
And while the blog had some fantastic points, and I can certainly see why, or the reason behind that, I thought that this would be a fantastic topic for us to talk about today.
Okay.
So, what is it about that made you want to share it? Where was the power for yourself?
I can't remember. Like, I wish you'd have told me we were going to talk about that blog, because like my memory, I can't remember what that blog post was talking about.
Okay.
I mean, do we need to know?
No,
is it critical?
No, not at all. No,
okay.
Not at all. But
okay.
I mean, like, obviously there was something in there that resonated with yourself, because what the blog was talking about basically is that positive affirmations don't work. By telling yourself that, you know.
No, well, it wasn't actually at all. It wasn't quite saying that. I think it was like it was exploring why, if you find they're not working, it's because you're maybe not saying the things in the right way, and you need to actually adjust how you're saying things and to trick the mind.
Okay.
Really. Again, we will put the link to that particular blog post in the description box, because it was a great piece.
Okay. And again, I think there were some real good value in there. I really do. I think that, I mean, like, one of the things that I remember from the blog post was it was talking about a little phrase, and I remember this from Tony Robbins. I think it might have been from the Netflix film that he did know, that I Am Not Your Guru, and he was talking about like a little power phrase or a positive affirmation he used to say, and it's like, every day in every way I'm feeling stronger and stronger. Every day in every way I'm feeling stronger and stronger. Or it could have been better and better, but you can tweak it to and he was suggesting that you don't use them words, you use it differently, and it's what works for yourself. Now, what I find and why I feel that positivity and positive affirmations work, firstly, just before we get onto that, realise this, that thinking positive and telling yourself positive affirmations will not make anything materialise on their own. You've got to go out and you've got to do the work. That's the truth of this. So you can sit there and you can watch The Secret, you can read The Secret, which is brilliant, by the way, but it ain't going to make this stuff materialise for you magically. It's not. You've got to get up and you've got to go and do it. Now, the reason why positivity and positive affirmations, I feel it works, is that it puts you in the right mindset. And what I'm saying here is that if you feel positive about something and you go out and do something, it makes you feel better. And when you feel better, you go out and do more of it. And when you go and do more of it, you get better results, which puts you in an even stronger positive place, which means then you do even more, you get better results, and the cycle just develops and grows from there.
Okay.
And this is where the positive side or the positive affirmations does work. Where they don't work is by you writing down your goals, looking at them every single day and wishing that it's going to happen. That's not going to make any difference. Yes, there's a certain aspect of synchronicity that you've got to believe in, but the only thing that's going to make them really materialise is by you getting up and going and do something. You know, just sitting there and thinking positive thoughts ain't going to do anything. You've got to go and do it yourself. And what's your thoughts? I mean, you share what you've experienced.
I'm trying to find this affirmation thing now so I can actually remind myself, because I posted this like over a week ago. So for you to expect me to remember why I got excited is just quite staggering. Okay. But that's why I've dug it up now to bring out the points that really resonate with me. But what did you just ask me then?
Should we start this one again? Because obviously CK's it completely just fell to pieces on this.
I've told you we should plan.
But when you're a practitioner, when you're a professional, you know, you should be able to just
practitioner, by the way,
practitioner. You should just be able to pull these answers out of thin air. You know the answers. You've got all this stuff. If you're a pro, you don't need to study and you don't need to plan. You do, by the way. I'm just being a bit facetious, but
I think I taught you that word.
So the point here, what we're trying to get across is that positivity on its own doesn't work. I totally agree with the person behind this blog, but what does work is positivity. Let me explain what I mean by that, because that sounds such a sounds like I'm really being contradictory. But when you are positive, you look at things and act you act things differently. You do things differently. The things that you do are different when you're in a positive frame of mind. If you aren't positive, then the results aren't going to be as good. So yes, you need to be positive, but don't rely on the positivity to be the main thing that's going to make this stuff work.
Seems reasonable. Like, I can't disagree with that.
Anything that you'd like to add?
No.
No, you're not in this at all. Stick around for episode 6 when Jon does it on his own. Because CK might as well have not been here on this episode. His head's obviously somewhere else. Wait, what are you thinking about?
It's often quiche, but today...
Quiche?
Today, not so much. Today, not so much. I mean, I don't think you've said anything anybody's going to disagree with. I mean, fundamentally, you're talking about action. Action will always prevail over any amount of positivity.
Totally. You can't sit back and expect something to land in your lap. It's not going to happen. You've got to go out. You've got to go and make it happen. Success doesn't come to you. You have to go to it. You've got to be the one that's pushing.
I mean, if we apply this, and you're going to enjoy this because it's a little bit of an ego stroke for Johnny, but this was a classic case of one of my new PR clients.
Okay.
You know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yeah, go on.
And I've been keen to bring her on board for about 6 months now.
A year, I'd say.
No. 6 months, because her story is just so remarkable. She's achieved so much that I know from a PR point of view that I can do a great deal with her and for her. Mm-hmm. And me and her have been chatting and exploring this for a while. And in my head, I always kind of knew I don't know what's weird. I always knew she's going to become a client. Yeah. I knew she was going to become a client.
Yeah.
However, for me to get from that, she's going to become a client, to her just recently becoming on board, and now she is a client, Johnny stepped in and he said, right, okay, this has been fermenting for far too long. Time to make her a client.
Okay.
And what Johnny did, because just to put some context, Johnny's a sales trainer, so this is pretty much what he does. Sales aren't my strong point. I'm the creative, the PR, the guy. Johnny's the sales guy. So I said, right, CK, this is what you need to do to make this happen. And just find out where she is, find out where you want to be, then just find out how you're going to meet in the middle. And it was just literally like he said, this, do this, give her a call, do this, so that you're both happy with where you're going to go. She was a client within like that phone call. That phone call. So while I had the positivity and I knew that we were in the same place,
okay,
alas, it wasn't quite enough to get you to the goal.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to be said for the value in both, but independently. Well, I don't know. Can they both work independently? Can you have action? I suppose you can have action without any positivity and still achieve great things, rather than positivity without action.
What?
What? No, but that example I just put forth, I think that's pretty much what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Take the action rather than just thinking.
Well, yeah, and I think that a lot of the time we overthink, and I've said this many times. Do you know, we need to stop thinking so much and actually go out and just take the action, rather than waiting for that formula to drop in our lap, or that validity. Just go and do it. And it's interesting because there's someone that you were mentioning about a 5-second rule, or was it a book? Or
it is a new book. It's by Mel Robbins, who is a international speaker, author, entrepreneur several times over. Very successful. And I just stumbled across one of her videos where she's talking with Tim Billiao on his Impact Theory series online. Definitely check out Impact Theory. It's a brilliant thing. And she has written a new book called The 5-Second Rule, and her whole theory is that motivation is bullshit.
Absolutely. I said that. Well, obviously, it was a blog. I think it was a blog. Might have been a vlog. Is that you don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. That's the truth.
So tell us a little bit more about what you mean when you say motivation's bullshit.
Well, think about something. You know, you get motivated. Whether it's music, a video, it's a speaker that you've been to see. It could be lots of different things that you've seen that gets you fired up and jacked up, and you're really motivated. Now the thing is that the minute you leave and start applying yourself, that motivation soon starts to decimate. It starts to fade away. And so for you to consistently stay motivated, you'd have to be running around, watching, listening, doing things all the time to get yourself in that constant motivated state. So it's not more motivation that you need. Motivation is massively important. By all means, watch something that gets you fired up and motivates you. But it's not more motivation that you need. It's more discipline. It's more discipline to be able to do the stuff that you don't like doing. It's more discipline to be able to see that thing through and have that grit to get to completion with it. It's that discipline that you need to do the things that's not fun, because they're the important stuff that needs to be done. It's not more motivation, it's more discipline.
So what Mel explores in this video, which I will tell you the title of in a bit, so you can go and find it on YouTube, she has a strategy which assists with this discipline. So once you've got that motivated state, because we all do, as you just said, we all feel that motivation, but then it soon starts to dissipate and fade over time. So Mel's got this strategy, which is what her whole book is about, and it's called the 5-second rule. And the minute you get an idea and a spark that fires up your soul and think that could be awesome, if it's a new thing, then your brain kicks in and think, hang on, what's this new thought you're telling me about? What? I don't get it. I don't understand. What do you mean? No, pull it back, because the brain is there to pull you back from anything that's new, that's daring, because it's there to protect you. The brain is there to protect you.
It's not there to make you happy.
It doesn't want you to take. It doesn't want to take you into uncertain territory, because uncertain in the old it was
you're exposed.
Yeah, you're
going to get eaten.
You're going to get eaten.
Yep.
So the brain, within that 5 seconds of having a thought, is like, nope, come back. So she has a tool to actually, in that 5-second golden window, for you to actually act upon it straight away. Check it out on YouTube, Mel Robbins' Impact Theory. And this is our quote of the week, basically, when she's talking about motivation is bullshit. So really, it's a really interesting video. And for someone like me who can get stuck in our mind and our own thoughts a lot, which is what this whole principle is about for people who get stuck in their own mind a lot. This is just a great solution, and it's a great technique, and it was just an interesting video. It certainly gave me food for thought.
Totally. And listen, this is the thing, is that find as much information as possible. There's people that's done everything that you want to do, that I want to do, that you want to do. Nothing's new. Do you know, somebody's done it already, so go and find somebody and learn from them. Learn what it is that they've done, what's worked, what's not worked, and apply it. If she's got this rule here, this 5-second rule that's working, then apply it, because it works and she's successful, and Tom is massively successful as well. So use these tools, use the stuff that's working and apply it. We don't have to constantly be trying to reinvent something when it's already there in front of us. So copy it, duplicate it. If you can add your own spin to it, fantastic. And this comes back to that saying again, and I think it was Tony Robbins. I think Tony needs to start plugging this show a little bit, because we're getting a lot of mentions. So come on, Tony, it.
Mel and Tony aren't related; they just share the same surname, incidentally.
But it says success leaves clues. You know, if you can find somebody that's doing the things that you want to do, and you can actually replicate that, then you'll enjoy, to a degree, the same level of success. So use these tools that surround you, because they're everywhere. Everywhere you look, there's something that you can learn from. And we've said this over and over again on every episode, I think, almost, is that the learners are the earners. The more you learn, the more you earn, if you apply it. You're just sitting there reading it. Knowledge is power. It's not. It's potential power. You've got to actually apply that stuff that you learn. So watch this video, not this one. Well, watch this one because you're watching it. But the one that CK's just mentioned, watch it. And if you can take anything from that and apply it. Use that 5-second rule to apply it and go and do it.
Mel Robbins' Impact Theory.
Yep.
So good.
Fantastic. Cool. We'll get a link. We'll put a link into the bottom. Right. Awesome. CK's found his flow a little bit now. I know he kind of drifted off a little bit at the start, but he's going.
I mean, I'll be surprised if this show makes it out. Yeah. To be honest.
Yeah. So to finish up,
you'll not be surprised.
As always, I'm not. No, it's getting out. It's going out. It's going. Do you know? We don't need no ducks.
Where are we just going to go?
So where we're going to go is we'll finish as we always finish off, which is
share your thoughts. Share the quotes that you have enjoyed this week, or generally, or maybe interesting.
And they are called
Floats My Quotes.
Floats My Quotes.
Hashtag that. Floats My Quotes.
So I'm going to completely catch TK off guard again. Have you got a quote that you like this week?
I've just told you, Mel's.
You like Mel's quote?
Motivation is garbage.
Okay. Right, there you go. Really good one I've written down here. Again, I mentioned in the last episode I did a little book called The Little Book of Greatness. I've not put it back on the site. I will do, actually. I'll get it up there so you can download it. It's free, and it's 50 different quotes to help you through your day, basically. This one here is that most people tiptoe through life hoping they make it safely to death. Don't tiptoe. Don't tiptoe. Take life by its own and really go. And excuse me, this is what this is saying. This is, you know, you don't have to be so cautious about everything that you're doing. Go out, go and make it work. Use this 5-second rule that what's her name again? Sorry, Mel Robbins talks about. Use this to make instant decisions. Take the action. Get yourself in a positive state by all means, But don't rely on the positive state to get the result. You've got to go out and take the action and do it. And if you can do it in this 5-second theory, go and do it. If you can do it through listening to some motivation, do it. If you need to be more disciplined, do it. Most important thing, do it. Anything you want to add?
No.
Cool.
Just wondering how much Nike have paid us for these endorsements today.
Just do it, Nike.